Hello everyone. Welcome to Confessions Jury, where people put themselves on the spot, waiting for your judgment. Sit comfortably and listen carefully, as you're about to hear today's cases. You hold the hammer and you apply the law. Let us have your verdict down in the comments section. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for refusing to help my girlfriend after she broke up with me even though I helped her with anorexia? I, 26M, met a girl, 25F, at a class in grad school 8 months ago. We were working on a project together. When I first met her, she was super skinny, sad, and her energy level was super low. As I got to know her more, she opened up to me about her anorexia, depression, and low self-esteem. I'm a gym goer. I have been consistently training since I was 19. When she listed her issues, I immediately linked it to lack of physical activity. Anorexia can have many reasons, but in some cases, its main reason is lack of activity. So I offered to take her to the gym and work with her step by step and link her with a dietitian who will give her a meal plan. She agreed to give it a try. The beginning was difficult, but she was constantly making progress. She was able to eat more, her mood was better, and she was gaining confidence. During that time, our friendship progressed into a relationship and we started dating. Fast forward to the present, she went from 40 kilograms to 50 kilograms. She is in a great mode, gets a lot of compliments and attention. I was genuinely happy for her, and I always told her how proud I'm of the progress she made. Everything was great until last week. She sat me down and told me she wanted to break up and wanted us to be friends. I didn't believe it at first because it came out of nowhere. I asked why, and she said she just wanted to be single. I don't know if that is the real reason, but if that is what she wants, so be it. I told her that the breakup hurt my feelings and I will no longer work with her at gym. She is still a beginner at the gym and doesn't really know what she is doing. She got upset and called me cruel and heartless. Told me that she is afraid of relapsing into anorexia and depression and wanted me to push and motivate and teach her. I told her that I'm a human too and I have to put myself first. The breakup hurt me and I can't ignore my emotions, and I don't want to work with her anymore. Am I the bad person? What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for not giving my stepdad the same grace I give my stepmom? So, I, 16F, have a stepdad, Greg, 40M, and a stepmom, Cassie, 29F. My parents split up when I was 10, and they both remarried not long after. Greg's been in my life for about 4 years, and Cassie's been around for 2. The thing is, I cannot stand Greg, but I genuinely like Cassie, even though I feel like I'm not supposed to because of how stereotypical her situation looks. First, Greg. He's always acting like he's my dad when he's not. He criticizes everything I do. He mocks my grades, which are as in BS, my clothes, my music, what I watch on Netflix, even how I talk. He's the kind of guy who lectures about life lessons constantly, even though I didn't ask. He tries to act like he's in charge of me, but it just comes off as condescending and annoying. My mom keeps saying I need to give him a chance, but I feel like I've been giving him chances for 4 years, and he's done nothing to earn my respect. Now, Cassie. She's younger than my dad, he's 47, and yeah, I thought it was super weird when they got married. Like, I assumed she'd be some vapid trophy wife type who only cared about Instagram and shopping or whatever. But honestly, she's the exact opposite. She's just genuinely nice, not in that fake, syrupy way, but like she actually cares about people. She's also ridiculously smart. Both she and my dad are professors at the same university. He teaches pre-med classes, and she teaches something artsy. I don't really know what, but it has to do with essays because she's always grading papers and writing these crazy long comments on them. My dad always says she has a mind like a steel trap because her memory is insane. She'll casually remember something I mentioned weeks ago, like how I couldn't figure out how to explain a concept in an essay, and then she'll sit down and help me without making me feel dumb. Anyway, things came to a head this Christmas. My parents have 50-50 custody, so I split my time between their houses. This year, I spent Christmas Eve and Christmas morning at my mom's house with Greg. As usual, Greg couldn't just let us have a nice holiday. He kept joking about how I'm too old for presents and need to start focusing on the real world. He even made a comment about how Santa doesn't come for people who don't pull their weight, which felt like a dig at my part-time job not being good enough for him. I ended up snapping and saying, maybe Santa skips people who act like assholes, too, which didn't go over well. When I got to my dad and Cassie's house that afternoon, it was a completely different vibe. Cassie had made cookies, which were warm when I got there, and she gave me a gift that was so thoughtful, a few journals with prompts and a fancy fountain pen set because I'd mentioned wanting to start journaling. She didn't even make it about her, like, look at what I got you. It was just about me, which was really nice after Greg's passive-aggressive lecture marathon that morning. Later that evening, my mom called to check in, and I guess she could tell I was happier than I'd been at her place. When I told her what Cassie got me, she got all defensive and said, well, Greg put a lot of effort into making Christmas special, too, you know. I know he didn't because I know Mom did all the work for Christmas Eve dinner and bought all of the gifts. Then she went off about how I need to start respecting Greg more and how it's hypocritical of me to love Cassie when Greg puts up with more by dealing with my teenage attitude. The thing is, it's not about effort, it's about how they make me feel. Cassie makes me feel like I matter, like I'm not just some annoying kid she's stuck with because of my dad. Greg, on the other hand, constantly makes me feel like I'm failing at being the perfect daughter. My mom's guilt-tripping me hard now, saying I'm being unfair and immature for not appreciating Greg. But I feel like it's not my fault that Cassie is genuinely nice while Greg is condescending and exhausting. So, am I the bad person? What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for kicking out my roommate after she sold my cat? My roommate, Megan, sold my cat, Luna, without telling me. Luna has been my companion for 3 years. She's a calm, affectionate cat who helped me emotionally after going through a tough time. When Megan and I decided to move in together, I made it clear that I had a cat and that if she wasn't okay with it, we couldn't live together. She assured me it was fine. At first, everything was great. But over time, Megan started complaining about Luna shedding fur and occasionally leaving litter outside her box. I tried to be understanding. I vacuumed more often and cleaned up immediately if Luna made any kind of mess. Still, Megan kept saying the cat didn't fit in our space. One day, I came home and Luna wasn't there. I searched the entire apartment, thinking she might be hiding, but she was nowhere to be found. When Megan came home, she casually told me she had found a great home for Luna and that it was for the best because I was too obsessed with the cat. I completely lost it. I yelled at her, telling her she had no right to make that decision, and I demanded to know where Luna was. At first, she refused to tell me, but after hours of pressing her, she finally admitted she had sold Luna through an online ad. I spent the entire night tracking down messages and eventually found the person who had bought Luna. I had to pay them more than double what Megan had charged just to get Luna back, but at least she's home with me again. After that, I gave Megan a week to pack her things and leave. Now she's telling all our mutual friends that I was overreacting and that it wasn't a big deal since Luna was in good hands. Some of them even think I should have given her another chance because finding housing isn't easy. Am I the bad one for refusing to live with someone who betrayed my trust like that? Can't wrap my head around that story. What do you think? Who is in the wrong there? Let us know down in the comments section and let's move on to our last case. Case 4. Am I the bad person for going on a trip without my girlfriend since she forgot her passport? My girlfriend, 23F, and I, 25M, planned a week-long trip overseas in Japan during this winter. I reminded her the day before we left a few days ago to remember to pack her passport and she said she would. Anyway, the first airport we left from, the airport in our hometown, was domestic, meaning it only served flights in our country, the United States, so we both just showed our state IDs for that and flew through just fine. When we were checking in for the second flight though, the international one, we booked tickets for the two flights separately for some reason. They asked to see her passport. She said she didn't have it and told me she realized midway during the first flight that she forgot to pack it. Since we were far away from our home, she couldn't just go home quickly to grab her passport. We were both obviously upset, but I checked in anyway and told her that I'll still go without her. She got upset and asked me why I'd abandoned her over a simple mistake, and I told her that I wasn't going to miss out on a trip just because she planned poorly. I told her that since we had a mutual friend, 24M, who lived in the city we were in currently, and she could ask him if she could stay with him and explore for a week, and then I'd catch her when flying back and we'd go home. She agreed, but was still upset because she wanted to spend New Year's with me. A few hours ago, I FaceTimed her and we talked for a bit, and our friend joined in the call and said he was shocked I'd abandoned her like that and that he was disappointed in me. My girlfriend agreed with him. Am I really a bad boyfriend for still going on this trip? Like, if I chose to not go anyway, it wouldn't even be benefiting her at all really, it would only be hurting me. Am I the bad person for this? You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.